You know, I've been wanting to make a video about this for a while now. This isn't WWE related. So, months ago, like back in December, I made a top 15 list of my favorite legendary Pokemon. Excuse me. But it's been a while since I did one, so I wanted to talk about my least favorite legendary Pokemon. And first things first, I want to apologize. Now this has been a common thing on all my videos, but that annoying sound that you keep hearing on my videos is my friggin' heater on my laptop. So I do apologize for that. There really isn't much I can do about it. It's just, you know, there. It's just there. So I really can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure you'd want me to shut it up and get rid of it, but I can't. I can't. I'm sorry. I wish I could get rid of it. I wish I could. So I'm going to talk about my top 10 least favorite legendaries. Legendary Pokemon I personally dislike. And I have my reasons for every single one of them, and mostly it can be because of the games, which is kind of the case. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys are all settled in and ready for this video, because this is going to be a big video. We're discussing about Pokemon that I do not like, legendary Pokemon I do not like. So anyway, let's get this started. Number 10, Regigigas. Regigigas is the leader of the Regis. He's the king. He's the king of the Regis. He's the king of the Regis. And he was very, very powerful. Indeed, he was. He was very powerful. He was strong. When I saw this thing for the first time, I was like, what is this thing? It's got moss as feet. It's got grassy moss all over its feet. It's even got moss on the top of its shoulders. I mean, what the hell am I even looking at? And it had white skin with black lines all over it. And the fact is that this Pokemon was so strong when I caught it. When I caught it, I did not know what its ability was. I didn't even notice it when I was battling it. When I battled it for the first time in Diamond and Pearl, I caught this thing. It was at level 70, and I was like, you know what? I can't wait to use this thing. Because in Pokemon Diamond, I was very into using these new Pokemon because I've never seen them before. And stupid me did not know what ability this thing had. So I looked at its stats and I was like, oh, this thing's really fast. It's actually fast. It's actually the fastest thing out of all the Regis. And I start using this thing in battle, and it's insanely slow. And I was wondering, why is this thing so slow? So then I realized, and then in another battle, when I used it in another battle, the text dialogue that it would normally have when you're in a battle said that Regigigas activates its slow start. And I was like, that's its ability? Slow start? So the thing is, guys, is that this thing was incredibly fast. When I looked at its stats, I looked at this thing's stance, and I couldn't, it was very fast. But then when I check its ability, it's actually slow start, and it's actually very slow. I couldn't believe that. So that is the reason why I really dislike Regigigas. I dislike Regigigas because of the ability it had sitting at number 10. Is Regigigas, who was insanely slow because of its ability, and that's why I do not like this Pokemon. Number 9. Suicune, rakiou, and entei. Now, I want to mention something here. I don't mind. I'm not going to say... I know they're on the list of that I dislike them. I'm going to be flat out honest with you. I don't dislike them. I'm not saying, oh, these things suck. I'm not saying that. The thing that I disliked about them was from Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and I will even include Heart Gold and Soul Silver. The fact is that I have had so much grief with these Pokemon has made me hate them. And in fact, these were the Pokemon that introduced that whole mechanic of running away when you first find them. I mean, seriously, I hated the fact that you had to catch them in one go, or else, bye-bye, they're running off. They're running off. See you later. That's the thing I really did not like about them. I can't remember what year it was, but I remember having Pokemon Gold, even though I mentioned I never played Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I totally forgot that I did own a Pokemon Gold that was bought specifically for me. So my brother couldn't use it. So I bought Pokemon Gold. And I specifically remember saying, this was still during my school days, I remember specifically saying to myself, whichever one of these 3 dogs I find, I'm going to Master Ball one of them. I don't care which one it is, I'm Master Balling the one I see, one I find first. And I found Suicune, so I Master Balled Suicune. Now, so that's kind of the reason why I really dislike these 3. Because the fact that you're sitting around, you know, playing Pokemon, really trying your best to catch these things, and then when you finally find them, and you don't have a Pokemon that has mean look or prevents the targets from running away, it's insanely frustrating. So those are the reasons why I really dislike these Pokemon. Because of the fact that they always run away from you. Now in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it was only rakiou and Suicune that runs. They're the only ones that run. Suicune technically does run, but you chase Suicune all over Johto, and then you meet up with it in Kanto, while this guy who's also been trying to to catch, you know, this thing. He's also been trying to catch up to this thing. And then you finally catch it in Kanto. You finally catch up to this thing in Kanto, and then you battle it. And oh my god, my experiences with Suicune in Heart Gold and Soul Silver were absolutely not fun at all. There was a time where it took me nearly 3 hours, or maybe even days, to catch this thing. Seriously, and it was only level 40. It was only level 40, and it was killing all my Pokemon that were technically in the high 50 to 60 mark. Because this thing was being stubborn and it wouldn't want to get caught. I paralyzed it, I weakened its health down to red, even to the emptiest part of the red health, and it still wouldn't go in. This thing really pissed the crap out of me in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And that is the reason why these 3 Pokemon go on this list. I don't hate the Pokemon in general. I just hate them because of the experience I have had with these Pokemon. And it's not fun. It's not fun at all with the experience that I was getting from these things, man. These legendaries were really bad. And the experience of catching these things really scarred me. Number 8, Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf. Now the Lake Trio legendaries. I don't have an issue with these things, but considering that they're on the list that I dislike them, means I had to do what I have to do, which is cause some dislikes. And the reason why I dislike these things, well, I don't really hate Uxie. But the reason why he's on this list is because he's a part of the trio, so I had to add him anyway. Uxie, I didn't have much problems with. I didn't have much problems with Uxie during my time catching him. He really wasn't an issue. It was more Azelf and Mesprit that was giving me all the grief and all the struggles. The fact is that Azelf was so annoying that it was like a mini legendary. These things are like mini legendaries that you're supposed to catch like maybe like later on in the game or something, you know? Like I immediately went after these things as soon as I finished catching Dialga or Palkia, depending on what version I was playing. But the one that I dislike the most is Mesprit, because Mesprit was exactly like Suicune, Rakiou, and Entei. And when I saw this thing run off into the wild, I was like, do I seriously have to do this again? I was not looking forward to catching this thing. I was not looking forward to catching this thing because I hated the fact that I had to chase something. That I had to once again chase down a legendary Pokemon. And Mesprit was not the only one that always ran away in Diamond and Pearl. Because I'm gonna get on to the next one right. I'm gonna be getting on to the next one right now. Number 7, Cresselia. This pile of moon dust is another thing that runs in Diamond and Pearl. Seriously, Diamond and Pearl introduced 2 Pokemon that flee into the wild. And what makes these 2 Pokemon, including Mesprit and Cresselia, what makes these 2 things a piece of garbage to catch is that if you don't have a mean-looking Pokemon, they're easily going to run away. But when you do have a mean-look Pokemon, they have the right amount of moves to get rid of it. Yeah, they have the right amount of moves. They have the right moves to get rid of them. Because I had a Gengar that knew mean look, and Mesprit just does confusion and bam, down goes Gengar, no more mean look. And it's the same thing with Cresselia. Because I think Cresselia can learn a Psychic type move. Bam! Bye-bye Gengar. Or if you've got a flying Pokemon, bye-bye to your flying Pokemon that knows it. Like a Honchkrow or a Golbat. Say bye-bye to them because those two Pokemon are going to be killing them a lot. That's what made catching these two Pokemon a piece of garbage. And that is why I do not like Cresselia and Mesprit. Now, of course, Mesprit was in the other category, but I wanted to use both of them as an example why I did not like them in my early experience. Number 6. Kyurem. Kyurem, however it's pronounced, I really don't care. I pronounce it as Kyurem because it's K-Y-U. That's why I pronounce it as Kyurem. And it's got R-E-M at the end of its name. Kyurem. So, Kyurem, I really wasn't a fan. I really liked this thing's typing. I thought this thing's typing was really, really cool. Ice Dragon, I've never seen an Ice Dragon before. And I was really looking forward to this thing. The fact is that this Pokemon is not easy to use in battle. The fact is that this thing has Glaciate, which is a move that is kind of is a different move, but I think it's exclusive to Kyurem. Kyurem knows a move called Glaciate when you first meet it, and it knows Dragon Pulse, and it knows Imprison, and it knows Endeavor. If you're weakening this thing down and you're trying to catch this thing, and if it uses Endeavor, it's gonna knock your HP down to the same amount of health that it had. Imprison doesn't do much. Imprison doesn't do anything. All I know is that Imprison actually traps your Pokemon's moves if it has the exact same moves as it. So Kyurem using Imprison didn't really worry me at all. The fact is that I just didn't really like this thing. Its design was pretty interesting, but at the same time though, it almost looks like a chicken. But I actually liked it in one of the anime movies. But the thing is that Kyurem just really just didn't feel good to me. That's why I preferred Zekrom and Reshiram. That's why they were on the list that I like. And this Pokemon's on the list that I really don't like it. I'm pretty sure there are people out there that do like Kyurem, and I'm pretty sure there are people out there that know how to use Kyurem properly. But I could never figure out how to use this thing to its true potential. So that's why Kyurem's on this list. Number 5 is Heatran. Heatran was a legendary Pokemon that I liked at first sight when I saw it in Diamond and Pearl. Level 70, Fire Steel type, 4 times weakness to ground. I liked that typing, ground and steel. It was the first ever ground and steel Pokemon. But the fact is that Heatran, its design just really didn't help it. Its design really didn't help it. It looks really silly, and its face looks incredibly ugly. And this Pokemon had a lot of potential, but overall this thing just really isn't good. Now, like I said, I enjoyed it when I first used it, and I caught this thing in a Quick Ball. I think Heatran was the only legendary Pokemon I caught in a Quick Ball. There's not a lot of legendaries you can catch in a quick Ball. I'm pretty sure there are other people that have done it, but Heatran was probably the only Pokemon that I caught in a Quick Ball. And when I was younger, I called this thing Heat Run. I called it Heat Run. because I saw heat and run, so I said heat run. But it's called Heatran. So Heatran, I necessarily don't hate it, but I think its design is the real reason why I've really stopped using it, and its potential just really couldn't deliver. Number 4, Zygarde. Zygarde I never really used, and it's a shame for me to say that because it's a ground dragon. We've had a lot of ground and dragons already, especially Garchomp. But the fact is that Zygarde just really isn't that good. I mean, like, they gave it some new forms, like 10% form, 50% form, 100% form. That is definitely something I appreciate. They wanted to make Zygarde completely different to most, to most legendary Pokemon. But in my opinion, its typing really didn't help it, and it just really overall isn't really a good Pokemon in my opinion. And if there are people out there that do like Zygarde, I am sorry that I have offended you, but Zygarde just really isn't a good legendary Pokemon in my opinion. So that's why it's on this list. Number 3, Deoxys. Deoxys was once a mythical Pokemon. That's why it's on this list. It was once a mythical Pokemon, where you could only gain this thing through an event. Now, Latios and Latias were not mythical Pokemon. They were both exclusive to their own games. And I know they gave you an Eon ticket through a special mystery gift event that allows you to catch the other one that you can't get in your version exclusive in Ruby and Sapphire or Emerald. But in my opinion, Deoxys really sucks. Deoxys is as fragile as a toothpick, or as fragile as a piece of paper. Seriously, this thing just really isn't that good. It has multiple forms that really don't do anything for it. If you put it in its attack form, it just gains all its attack stats, and all of its defense stats get lowered. And if you use its defense form, its defenses get boosted, but its attack stats get depushed, and its speed lowers. And if you use its speed form, most of its stats get lowered, but its speed gets pushed up. The fact is that Deoxys just really isn't that good. And like I said, it used to be a mythical Pokemon. And because in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, in the Delta episodes, you can catch a Deoxys on the final episode after you catch Rayquaza. That's why Deoxys is on this list, because it's not a mythical Pokemon. People will probably still call it a mythical Pokemon, but it's not a mythical Pokemon anymore. If you can catch it on the main game, then it's not a mythical Pokemon anymore. So, honestly guys, I just really don't like Deoxys that much. And that's about it. Number 2, the Swords of Justice. Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion. To me, these legendary Pokemon are nothing but collector's items, because when it comes to Pokemon, when it comes to me and my Pokemon, I love hunting legendaries. I love hunting for legendaries. Catching legendary Pokemon has always been my thing. It's always been my thing. I've always preferred catching legendary Pokemon when I complete the games. When I complete the games and I complete the main stories, I want to go around and catch as many legendary Pokemon that the game gives you. But the fact is that these three legendary Pokemon just aren't really that good. I like the idea of them, the fact is that they're protecting Pokemon. I like the idea of these Pokemon, but overall I really don't like them that much. To me, they're just Pokemon. They're just there to be caught. That's what I see them as legendary Pokemon just for us to catch. And it's a shame. It's a shame, but that's just how I feel about these Swords of Justice. And finally, guys, my number one most disliked legendary Pokemon is Hooper. Patrick, that's a mythical Pokemon. This is the only mythical Pokemon I do not like. It's not because of the video games. It's because of the movie it was in. Clash of the Ages. Clash of the Ages, the movie. This movie is the main reason why I hate this freaking thing. Hooper, this little mongrel right here. This movie is the main reason why I do not like this legendary Pokemon. Just look at it. Look at this thing. It has the most annoying voice in anime history. It constantly shouts, "Ale Hooperling!" You know, when I watch this movie, I normally like to enjoy Pokemon movies. But Jesus, this movie I just really wasn't feeling it with this movie. I was like I was watching something really terrible. It was like I was watching something that was so incredibly, horrifyingly terrible. Hooper is such an annoying Pokemon. I really could not handle this Pokemon. And this is the main reason why this Pokemon is on this list. Because of the movie. I'm glad that this thing is a mythical Pokemon, because I don't want to see this thing. So anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up. Comment your thoughts down below. Tell me what did you think of this top 10 list, and let me know what you guys think, and let me know what are your most disliked legendary Pokemon that you don't like that much. Anyway, guys, thank you all for enjoying the video, and I'll talk to you all later.